It's not the flavor actually more important for me. It's the moment that she was working so hard, but she's still trying to feed us. So that's the love. It's always like in me.
This is the Deep in the Weeds podcast. I'm Anthony Huckstep. 10 years in business is amazing for any restaurant, let alone one that has pushed the boundaries and changed the conversation for a cuisine down under. Well, today's guest has done just that, and it is my absolute pleasure to welcome him back. Coskun Uysal from Tulum, how are you?
I'm very good, actually, and it's great to be here again.
Yeah, it's wonderful to get you back on the show. I love the episode we had and the stories you shared last time, but yeah, life is very exciting for you at the moment. You had a big weekend and you got married. How was it?
So, I wasn't ever thinking about that one day I was actually going to marry it. So that is happened after 23 years in a relationship. So last Sunday, we had a big party. I wouldn't call it a wedding, like this traditional style, but it was actually a bit confused sort of party. So like a two different culture, and I'm Turkish, Peter is Australian. And so there were some operas and arias, and the other side we were doing like a belly dancing. So, so it was a very good mixed sort of party. So everyone enjoyed.
That's the way it should be. It should be a big celebration, no matter how you approach it. That's amazing. Congratulations on that.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
And the reason we got you on the show is to congratulate you as well, because a decade in business for any restaurant is extraordinary, and particularly the way that you have changed the conversation for Turkish food in Australia. How do you feel about racking up a decade?
To be honest, it's also very difficult for me to believe it. And so I moved to Australia straight from Istanbul to Melbourne almost like 11 years ago. So when I opened 10 years ago, I was a very clear vision and I knew what I want to do. But now, like when I look back, it's so quick, it's so fast, everything is happening like very quickly. So there's no moment for me actually sit down and take everything in. But now, like I'm organizing all these events for our 10 years anniversary. I'm like, wow, like it's 10 years. So I even making myself to believe this is happening actually. And as you know, what's happening around Australia with the businesses. So it wasn't easy, and especially my first 3 years. And then after it went off, and I think everyone understood what I was trying to do and how is actually Turkish cuisine is what it is. But now, like, it's incredible that I'm celebrating my 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. Take us back to that time. You said you came here 11 years ago, but you created the restaurant a decade ago. What was it like finding a site and creating it? And you had your idea, but was it challenging that period of time?
So finding the spot, because so after a year later, I realized it's not the brilliant spot for me, but because I was just moved in, so I didn't know anything about the city. I didn't know anything about the locations. So I was just looking places that I could manage, like a smaller and like a very cozy style places. So when I find this place on Carlisle Street, I thought, okay, that's small enough. It's manageable, and I think I could manage this place. So it used to be a coffee shop, and like literally, I didn't touch anything because I thought I want to give myself 3 years that see this vision, this concept is going to work or not. First 3 years, like it was, I can't be honest here. I was actually crying like a baby every single night when I closed the restaurant on my way to home. It was like literally heartbreaking. And I don't know, it was just so difficult to explain what is actually Turkish cuisine is. So because say like you came for a dinner and at Tulum you went out, you enjoyed the night, you went out to some another party and you saying, hey, by the way, I went to this restaurant yesterday. It's brilliant. It's a new Turkish restaurant. You must go. So that sort of information. So everyone thinks cheap and cheerful style Turkish food. And so when they walk in, I mean, I can see from their eyes from kitchen, the door is open. They're looking around like they lost. So it's because there's no hanging carpets on the walls and there's no belly dancer around the restaurant. And we don't do kebabs and we don't do dips. So I believe there's more than the Turkish cuisine. So first 3 years, it wasn't easy. That I have to explain myself in almost like going every single table, every single night, explaining the vision, explaining the food, explaining the stories. But after 3 years, so I think with the way that we were running the business, the way that we were like believing what we were doing, I think people slowly understand what is actually we trying to do it. So after 3 years, so it's like went off.
How different is the restaurant and your food now compared to what you began with and your vision then?
So the restaurant is now totally changed in a way for the decoration one. So after 3 years, I thought, okay, it's gonna work. And then I put in some extra monies to change the walls, the tables, the chairs, and so it used to be like a coffee. The place that it used to be run like a coffee shop. So I was using the same table, same chairs, same kitchen equipment, everything. So I wasn't sure it's going to work or not. So, and then when I realized it's going to work, so I removed everything and did my big renovation. And then, so my business partner joined me, which was like probably one of my best decision last 10 years. So he is another Turkish guy who owns another restaurant in Melbourne, another Turkish restaurant called Lezzet. So he knows about Melbourne. He knows about people. He knows about the electricians, and I have no idea about all those things. So I always do the same joke in the restaurant. If one of the lamp is broken, if it doesn't work, for me to change that, I think to move the restaurant somewhere else is easier. So I have no idea how these things work. So when he's into my business, into my life, so everything has become actually easier. And so he says to me, he's going to take care of all those side jobs like renovation and everything, so I can concentrate on running the business like a service, the menus, the kitchens, the cost and everything. So it was like actually brilliant. So other than that, like we didn't do much changes. Like it's still the same vision. We still do like a true, honest, homey style food, but it's not doesn't look like Turkish, but it's 100% Turkish flavors. So I don't. That my vision is I never ever like to change the flavors. So that's flavors is how I grow up from my mother. So that's like how she used to cook for us. This memory of the flavor. It's still on the plate, but that plates are like, there's, I mean, it's in Melbourne, in this century. So it looks a little bit sexier than how my mother used to make for us or put it on a plate. And yeah, so it was a quite a long journey and also someone from outsider. So I see so many difference, so many changes, so many um the things that actually I thought, oh wow. So I'm surprised at how people like the table manner is a different than that we have in Turkey. So like it was like for me to learning every day is learning something. So I mean like 10 years I mean, like I'm still like we're doing so many new stuff. Like these people are after the COVID, people change the way that they want to eat, or no drinks, no alcohol anymore, and they want to eat earlier, and they want to eat quicker, and they want to eat less. How do I say? Like it's not less, but it's like it's very straightforward dishes. Like no plating. Like just give me the bowl of pasta, for example. Just like those sort of. It's like straightforward meals, not like creative style. And so at the moment so Tulum have two spaces. One like a 40 cover seating, and then behind the restaurant, I think we have like a 20 cover seating area, which is all covered. So we call it like a back room, or we use that on the weekend for that like big numbers of like groups of people, like a private room. And so, like because people, what I'm doing now, like because so I still want to do what Tulum is Tulum. Like I don't want to change the vision. That's my I love to do it, but at the same time, I have to think also like a business owner rather than a chef. So the Tulum this 40 cover will still be the same, and I invest some money into the kitchen. So we bought a Josper oven. And so we're going to create at the back, it's another concept. So what we were trying last couple of months, once every month, we did a very simple home style mezes, like a three mezes with bread. And then there will be like a cigar börek and some sort of maybe tomato salad with feta cheese, and then whole roasted lamb with rice and with the rice and the beans. So that's sort of like small traditional, like a classic home style meal at the back. So probably we're going to start doing that business at the back. I think next 4 or 6 weeks time. So there will be another business and then another business like what we did in Tulum. So now because I can see, especially in the weekdays, people don't want to eat big and like a creative, just want to go in quick the bites. Mezes. So this is Turkish food. What people understand is all the mezes, and it will be at the back of the room. But again, no kebabs. There will be like lots of like roasted lamb, slow cooked food, and it's one pot dishes. And so I'm actually quite excited after 10 years. So we still have to move on.
I want to just go back a little bit. You mentioned your mother and the influence there. Take us back to when you were younger. What was she like? And are there some dishes that stand out that you can tell us about from when you were young from her?
Yeah. I mean, I tell this to everyone. So I'm in love with my mom. Like I love her so much. But at the same times, with my father, I don't have the same sort of relationship. So my mom is like, she's my angel. She's a very hard worker. She used to work maybe like two different jobs, like in the daytime, like go to the works offices, either do one office is the cleaning and the other office is just making staff meal. And then when she's come home, like after all day, she's doing like all the hard work. And then she was doing like every single, like I'm not exaggerating, every single night, there's 4 or 5 different dishes around the table. Like every single night. If there's one dish from last night, we were saying like, oh God, you don't love us anymore. Like what we're having the same dish from last night. Come on. So we're like, because so used to it, like so many different. So I have so many memory of these and dishes and the flavors. And so that's why like the Tulum, why I call Tulum is so I mean, I was a kid, running around waiting for her to come home, and this, yeah. So waiting for her to come home, and then I'm hungry. Before she cooked for entire family, she was giving me like a tulum cheese little bit olive oil on top with the pita bread. So I was like just having this while she's cooking. So that's simple, like this cheese, but it's not the flavor actually more important for me. It's the moment that she was working so hard, but she's still trying to feed us. So that's the love is it's always like in me. And so like I never forget that, like all the olive oil, Tulum cheese and the pita bread. So I thought when I opened Tulum, have to be Tulum, this restaurant. And but now like people think that it's a Mexican restaurant because it's a restaurant in Mexico City. And so sometimes it's funny enough because next door of Tulum is another Mexican restaurant. So they actually come into our restaurant to, expect these Mexican dishes. But that's one of them. And but there's so many other dishes. Like it was on my menu, I think 2016, and it's become, I think, one of the best dishes in the city called chilber. The chilber is it's it's basically it's a poached egg with garlic yogurt and then the paprika butter, and then all you have to do dip your bread into it. So that's like another. It's so simple but so delicious, so tasty, and so Turkish. There's all the flavors. So I thought, okay, I will create something with this, but exactly the same flavor. But there's a garlic yogurt, but I smoked the yogurt, so just give like extra depth to the dish. And then there's a slow poached eggs, and then on top, I did the paprika butter, but I also made paprika made as burnt butter crumble. So that's also with the crispy chicken skin around. And so it's again like it's like same flavor, same flavor profile, but just a little bit elevated. So those things like I can't forget from what my mom used to make for us.
You've really changed the conversation for Turkish food in Australia with an incredible impact. How much have you seen the food landscape changed in the decade that you've been here in Melbourne? Has it changed a lot, just the general hospitality offering?
I think I could say two before the COVID and after the COVID. So I think the after the COVID is that I think people also before the COVID, what's happened? Everyone wants to go out. Everyone wants to be social in the restaurants or in the coffee shops or on the social places. But when we were locked down for 2 years here almost, and people learn to stay home and cook home, and then they find how actually great do the shopping and then cooking for yourself. So even like now on my partner, we used to go out every single night, like literally every single night. But he is, even like on my wedding speech, he's become my personal Nigel Lawson. So,
Amazing.
don't think like, he doesn't talk like sexy like a Nigel Lawson, but still the food is really good. So now on, like he's cooking home and he enjoy it, and I actually love it too. So I can see that people want to go out only special occasions now on. And like if they have wedding anniversary, if they have birthdays, and if they have something to celebrate, I think they start going out rather than, like let's go out.
Yeah. How much have you changed in the time that you've been here, and the ability to show your creative side through the restaurant as well with that expression on the plate? Has that had a big impact on you in the last decade?
Till 2 years ago, I was doing like what I want to do. It's very creative, but very Turkish food. But last 2 years, because the expectations change. So I'm also, as a business owner, like, we all have to pay the bills somehow. And, I have to bring people in. So I was like adding on another sort of small menu that people can enjoy in and out, like all the mezes and the dips, and then the slow cooked lamb. So we'll give them. Normally, I wouldn't do it for Tulum side, but now I think that's what people like to eat. They like to enjoy. So that's actually opened my eyes that, okay, that's brilliant. So there's nothing wrong with all those flavors. Like, I love all this, even the kebabs and dips. There's nothing wrong with that. I think I have to explain myself and, here. So people think that I'm so against of all those things. I'm not. Honestly, I'm not, and I love it. It's part of our culture. But when I say Turkish food is not just kebabs and dips, it's the just small part of it, not the whole, cuisine. And so even like when I do kebab, so people think kebab is just on the skewer. Not really. So we have one of the dish on the menu, and it's called we call tepsi kebab, which is a kebab which is baked on the tray, but it's amazing, like with this all the sauce on top of it. But it's a different sort of kebab. So that's like I am changing and playing with the business, how we run the business. So we just bring people in, and they can actually still have the Tulum style, the high quality, good Turkish food, but still with a little bit, touches around, but still homey style.
Yeah. To help celebrate the decade in business, you've got some pretty amazing dinners coming up with some chefs. Who are you hooking up with? Tell us a bit about it.
So at the moment we have 3 chefs, and I'm actually so excited, really so excited. And there's the 3 of them is like so special. I love all of them, and I have a huge respect for like 3 of them. And the one is coming from Sydney, Christina Manfield. So we never met before, but before I moved to Melbourne, I know her. I mean, I don't know her, but I know her. But you know what I mean? We never met, but I always followed her, and I have her cookbooks. So when I was in Istanbul, I still remember, and I was telling her the same story in Istanbul, where I was working, the place called the House Cafe. So I still remember like so clearly. So in the New Year's Eve, so I was make one of the dish is going to be the chocolate. So my boss wants, okay, let's do the chocolate dessert. So I follow, and I had her cookbook. So now I see there's a chocolate tart with the chocolate and I think cardamom ice cream. So exactly the same recipe that I was doing it. And now like I'm so excited even mentioning about her, and she's coming to Melbourne. And so, and I mean, to be honest, it's almost booked out, even without we doing any marketing about it on the social media. And after that, the cucina, God, um, Katerina, I call her always like a queen of Italian cuisine. When you sit down, when you talk to her, you just look into her eyes and, just dream about everything. The way that she talks, she pull you in. And I love her. She's so amazing. And she's also like she's coming to the restaurant, and she's going to bring her chefs. So it's all about like the Turkish food through their eyes. So it's not like, Turkish Italian food or Turkish, some sort of food. It's still going to be Turkish, but through their eyes, and all the flavors. Maybe the Katerina will do some Italian sort of, say, risotto, but maybe she wants to add in sumac or cumin. That's sort of style that, she's planning. And then there is another one, is a Charlie from Atlas Dining, Charlie Carrington. So he's actually a dear friend of mine. And so he closed his one-hatted restaurant, but he's doing another seriously good business at the moment. He's so well what he's doing. Just put everything in a box and then selling. So he's amazing. So he also going to do some the Turkish food through his eyes. So it's going to be like amazing.
Well, that sounds absolutely incredible. Very, very exciting. What's it been like for you this last decade? What have you loved about what you've created here and delivered joy to so many people? What have you loved about it?
So this business the Tulum is giving me so many introduced, like I'm meeting so many great people, same minded, like chefs or restaurateurs, and then also I meet all these our guests, like I mean maybe like on my wedding day, wedding is a very personal, like wedding is very very friends and families, but I think I had 4 or 5 customers. I mean like not customers, but they become part of my family. So like I meet so many great people, and so many great chefs and restaurateurs. So I'm so grateful because I keep saying now 11 years I didn't know anyone, but now if I need a shoulder to cry, I can call someone. You know what I mean? Like that's so important as a Turk. So I love to, I love to talk about the problems. I need to talk with, a great one like Charlie, for example. And I always call him like, I need to cry. Come on, let's have a drink. So, like that is very priceless for me. So that's number one part. So I meet so many amazing people, last 10 years. And other than that, so learning the city and also it's very open-minded that people were, especially when it comes to the food. So it's yes, first 3 years I think it was difficult. Yeah, it was very difficult, but after a while it's like people really open-minded, and then they get it like very quickly, and they understand what's good, what is bad. So they really like, it's incredible. They don't follow, I don't see that, like it's not a following the trends. So, it was, that's part also that I learned. And other than that, it's just, I'm really so grateful just being here, doing this business. Even like talking to you is priceless for me. Like it's amazing.
Well, it's incredible what you've achieved, and I can't wait to see where you take things from here because it sounds very exciting. So please keep in touch, and we'll catch up again soon.
I would love to. Yes, thank you very much.
This is the Deep in the Weeds podcast. I'm Anthony Huckstep. Stay tuned as we take a deep dive into the lives of the incredible people who ply their trade in the food and hospitality sector. Special thanks to executive producer Rob Locke for making this all happen. Follow us on Instagram at Deep in the Weeds Podcast, or email us at podcast@deepintheweeds.com.au. Thanks to executive producer Rob Locke for making this all happen. Stay safe and be well.